Nobody wins when the family feels.
I really came from nothing, niggas jacking on my style, and I see you niggas stunning. I'm the same nigga now when a nigga had nothing. I'm the same nigga.
We knew Chase was a record producer of some kind, so he was there working that night with other people.
Back, but I've been killing shit since way back. My thoughts are getting tummy. Need to get this money.
I'm Mark Liverman. Developing tonight, an investigation is underway after an apparent double homicide in Asheville. Asheville police say a late-night gunfight unfolded late Friday night near the 300 block of New Leicester Highway, leaving 2 people dead.
Family of 1 people killed in a December recording studio shooting. Chase Van Leeuwen.
Minnie. She would have been 21 next week. 8 days ago, her family laid her to rest at home in New Orleans.
And she loved everybody and loved to help everybody. And I hate this habit to my baby.
I'm not a judge or a jury, and I pray those who not don't judge as well. Nonetheless, when somebody lose their life to gun violence, I feel like it should be an unwritten law that the person that gave birth to them should know who pulled the trigger. We're not going to always know why, but we should at least identify who done it if apprehended. Fam, this video a little different. I won't waste too much time on presenting it because we have an interview with the Louisiana mother of a female rapper who was gunned down only 2 years after she was shot. But according to local authorities, she was the only female of 1 of 5 people who went to do a robbery at a local recording studio. And then they say her firearm was the firearm that was used to take out the man who was, in other words, at the wrong place at the wrong time, who happens to be an engineer at that studio. But let me tell you this now, fam. There was no firearm found on her. And if she was deceased upon arriving to the hospital, how do they know this to be true? Unless someone's saying that, and who said it's true? Now it seems some people who was arrested was the people who was with the young woman who lost her life, who we'll later discuss. And according to authorities, after doing their investigation, they was a part of a string of shootings within 48 hours apart, but they won't disclose why and who. So in this video, we're going to try to talk about as much public information that we can before shining the light on the interview that we did with the victim mother. So before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I don't give you no angle, I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll jump right to it. Family, Markia Jones, aka Minnie, some call her Minnie 3. Born and raised in Louisiana in 2021, after being shot, her mother decided to move her to Asheville, North Carolina. She'd been rapping since the age of 7, having a couple tracks on YouTube. That was one of her passions. But on December 22nd, 2023, she would unfortunately lose her life. Now to put things in perspective, at that time in December of 2023, Minnie 3 and another young man we'll later discuss, who was an engineer, was the 7th and 8th homicide in that city. So it was a relatively quiet and safe neighborhood, what some would say. Officials say police responded to the 300 block of New Leicester Highway at around 11:20 p.m., as we mentioned, which was a Friday on December 22nd in 2023, to reports of a person suffering from a gunshot wound. When officers had arrived, they found a man dead who had been shot inside a business, according to the department's new release. That man been identified as Chase Christian Van Lee, who was 30 years old. May he rest in peace, and love and condolences to his family. According to his family, he was at the local studio before Christmas trying to earn some extra money.
So as you can see, this is exactly how it's pulled in. This is a Wave 2 track. Now when I actually mix the record, it's going to have the track outs. But right now, when I play this, it's very minuscule, but it goes... You hear that? Now, I'm going to smooth it out by just adding this. Crossfade. So I'm going up here where these 3 are, and then bang. So just add a little bit of that. Now it's gonna be super smooth. You know what I mean? Simple, but major.
A half hour later, Asheville police dispatchers were notified about a person with a gunshot wound being dropped off at Mission Hospital. Officials said the person was identified as Minnie. She was just 20 years old when she lost her life. May she rest in peace, and love and condolences to her family. 3 days later, that Saturday, police had 2 people in injuries. Police also confirmed that 2 incidents was related, 24 hours apart. And the only update that was provided was, according to court documents, The engineer was forced into the building after being shot twice in the head, allegedly from Minnie and her alleged crew she was allegedly with, but Minnie's mother thinks otherwise. Check out the interview. Welcome to the Family TV. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with today? Nice to meet you. I appreciate you taking the time to speak with us today. People got this far. Absolutely, absolutely. If people got this far in the video, I'm sure they know why we're here. If you don't mind me asking, can you tell me why we're here today, briefly?
It was, we moved from Louisiana, New Orleans, Louisiana, to Asheville, North Carolina. My daughter, she had got shot before in Louisiana, so I tried to move her out here to try to get away from all of that. And she got hooked up with the wrong crowd, and it was supposedly been a gun battle at a studio. So where she was with four other people, making her the fifth person. And she was the only one shot doing that. And she was a rapper. And I'm trying to figure out, was she going to the studio to rap, and did they just start shooting out of there, or what was the case? So I'm confused on the whole situation, from the hospital, from her going to the hospital, to me still talking to the detectives and stuff about the situation. So I'm really confused about the whole situation.
Gotcha.
What really happened to her by her being the only one being shot and not even from here. So, yeah.
Out of her crew, yeah, because we definitely going to speak on more of the situation. I was looking into it, and of course, another man lost his life, but also it was more information on accusing your daughter of weapon to be the one used and so forth. But that's the gun was a firearm ever found on her?
No, because apparently when the situation happened, one of the people she was with had dropped her off at the hospital. At the hospital, they didn't say anything about the weapon was found on her or none of that. So no.
So basically, all the information that's given is from someone else.
I would say that. Yeah.
Got you. But I want to slow it down before we really get to that. So your daughter's name is Makaya Jones.
Yeah, we call her Minnie.
Minnie, okay. Yeah, I saw her rap stage name was Minnie 3.
Yeah, Minnie 3.
Do you know what the 3 stood for?
No.
Okay.
No, that's just something she came up with.
Okay.
And, the people she grew up with called her Minnie. But
Gotcha.
when she moved here, everybody was calling her 3. So, yeah.
Okay. So, how was Minnie growing up?
She was a girly girl, but a tomboy. She played the band, the drums in the church. Minnie ran track. She was very popular in Kenner, Louisiana. That's the school she went to. From elementary to middle school to high school, everybody knew her. So she was real popular, and she was real quiet. Everybody knew her to do that rap stuff. So that's basically what she was focusing on, rapping and working.
Gotcha. So she liked to do it all.
Yeah, and she was into sports. She wanted to play football when she was a little girl.
Wow.
She wanted to play football, so I always used to tell her, you can't do that, Minnie, But her first rap song she did, she was 7 years old. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Since
she was
7.
really lyrical. Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to some of the music. Of course, the audience going to be able to have a chance to hear some as well. I heard you mention that, unfortunately, she had got shot. Do you mind telling us around what age, and if you can briefly speak on it?
She was 16.
Okay.
And at that time, she was, Minnie, she's like a tomboy, like I said. If you look at her pictures, you'll see she like girls, basically.
Gotcha.
And a lot of boys was hating on her because of that. She wasn't really into no stuff. It was just that their girlfriends liked her, and she was rapping better than them. It was just some hate stuff. So she was on her way walking to this center because they had Wi-Fi, and she had a little notepad with her and everything. So somebody found her walking by herself, and then they just got into a little squabble, and then she got shot in her leg. And she called me right then and there, and I got in the car, I picked her up, and I brought her to the hospital. She was cool.
So you wasn't far from the scene.
I wasn't far.
Thank God. Yeah. So at that point, you decided that you wanted to move to North Carolina. And
to try to get her away from that.
This the late 2010s at this point, or
I would say it was 2021.
Okay.
When we moved here.
Wow. So this relatively new.
Yeah. That's why I say she didn't have time to even maneuver around here to figure out certain spots and certain people and stuff like that.
So you moved to Asheville, North Carolina. I can only assume it's a difference in the culture from where you from and there. You mind giving me a rundown on how you and your family felt making that transition?
It was really good because we moved here after Katrina. And I stayed here before, and like when I think Minnie was 3, and she has a sister named Shakaya. I call her Sweet. She was 2. So when we moved here, they was younger, and it was kind of different, but a little slower than in Louisiana. So, but I thought coming out here to be a better move, bringing our New Orleans stuff here, it would have been better, as far as the cooking and her rapping and stuff like that. I thought it would have been a better move.
Yeah. Do you felt there was
me saying I thought it would be a better move. I still kind of find myself guilty about that move, after all this happened. I really do.
Got you. Okay, so I had a little quick fact for Asheville, and they say a chance of becoming a victim of property crime or death is 1 in 19, which is the rate of 51 per 1,000 in the population. So did you feel it was more safe? Got you.
Yep. Definitely.
Got you. Did it give you like a country vibe?
Yeah, it did. Like for retirement. For people that retire and stuff. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
There's younger people out here, and stuff like that, but it gives that retirement vibe.
Gotcha. So Minnie, she's making new friends, I would assume. And at this point, did she move around 16, or was it after high school?
I would say after high school.
Okay.
After high school, definitely, because that's when she started having more trouble with the older guys and stuff like that, getting into fights and stuff like that. It was it was big, So
was this in like the neighborhood that you end up moving in, or was this just in the area, period?
Well, when she was in high school, I was raised up in this area. In that area. So my family and stuff still live out there in Kenner and stuff. So, like I said, she was known out there. So,
gotcha.
Yeah, but that was out there, I know, and that's why I try to get her away from people that she know, and try to give her a new start.
Right.
Right.
So, fast forward only 2 years since you moved there. December 22nd, 2023. I can only assume one, if not the worst day of your life.
Yes.
Yes. Now, the location is a recording studio, and that night claimed the lives of 2 people. A young man who go by the name of Chase Van Leeuwen, and of course, Minnie, may they both rest in peace. Now, the initial report from authorities was Chase was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Apparently, he was a producer, and according to his family, he was trying to make some money before spending time with his family on Christmas. Because Christmas is less than a week away at this point. They also indicate that they believe it was a robbery, and shots had went off. Now, before we really go into details, when you got the call indicating that your daughter was a victim to that scene, what was going through your head?
I actually, when I got to the hospital, the first person I encountered was the chaplain. And when I talked to him, he had me thinking that it was just like a shot to her shoulder. So my initial thought was like, okay, she's gonna be okay. It's just a shot to the shoulder. Until it started taking longer than what I expected for a shot to the shoulder. So, I mean, my initial thought she was okay. That's basically what it was until I heard they pulled me in the back and then the doctor said what they said. So I didn't really, it didn't dawn on me until later. I was in shock, basically. I was in shock. But I was continuing listening to what they were telling me. I had to keep that noted in my head at all times. And it was just different things from, like I said, the chaplain, and then from the doctors. And so I was just a little bit confused leaving up out of there also, out of that hospital. So I'm not sure.
So at this point, the incident happened at around 11:30 p.m. according to the affidavit.
Mm-hmm.
What time did you get that conversation with the doctors?
Somebody called me. Because Minnie was on her way to the hospital, and like I said, somebody was bringing her to the hospital. So the person who was driving her to the hospital, they called one of her friends that had my phone number. And then they called me and told me that she got shot and that I need to make it to the hospital. That's how that happened.
Okay.
Friends, yeah, it was one of her friends that contacted me from the person who drove her to the hospital. So I was like the third party.
Gotcha.
They got notified.
Gotcha. And at this point, were you in contact with the authorities to try to see what's going on? Did they try to contact you?
They didn't even, well, after the fact. I mean, the authorities was walking back and forth through the hospital the whole time. Nobody addressed me on what was going on. Nobody did. They act like they didn't even know. So, I mean, but after the fact, that's when they started, because I had gotten her truck. Her vehicle was the vehicle that drove her to the hospital. So to the person who drove her to the hospital, I got the truck from them. So that's how they contacted me, because of the truck situation. They was trying to get the truck back because that was the truck she drove to the hospital in. So that's how they contacted me. Maybe they thought I was involved or whatever the case may be, but I just picked the truck up from a certain location where they told me to pick it up. The keys were still in there, and that was it. So, you know.
I can only imagine what was going through your head.
It was a whole lot.
Now, authorities would get an update that following Saturday indicating that at the time, no suspects was in custody, but detectives had persons of interest. Now, they also confirmed that 2 incidents were related.
Yep.
Do you know anything about that?
After the fact, I heard that the people that she was with were involved in something. So my first thought of mine is that they did what they did and never told her that they did that. That's just what I'm thinking. You know, because if you look at the boys' rap sheet, who they have, it's all on their rap sheet. This type of stuff. So,
right.
I don't know. And just me getting information from different people, they feel like the people who was involved, they were older than her. And some of those people like to prey on younger children. You know, children who legally able to buy guns, and children who have rides where they can do that type of stuff. So that's basically what I thought they were doing on her, trying to prey on what she had and just use her for what she had.
Right.
I don't know. Because it's not in her background to do that type of stuff.
Now, we're going to go into details why they said it happened, and authorities claiming that your daughter was one of 5, the only female who was there for a robbery.
Yeah.
Now, what I do want to ask is this. When you find out that authorities claim it was a shootout, but only people who was allegedly with your daughter was there, what's going through your mind?
Just, I wanted to clear her name. Basically, I wanted to clear her name because I knew that wasn't something that she'll do. Like I said, she had a job. Well, I don't know if I said that. She had a job and she was getting her own little money and stuff. So I'm like, that's not her MO. No. So I was just doubting the whole situation myself. I really was. And you know, some parents, that's what they do. They doubt the situation. And I don't know if, to be honest, I don't know if the dude was intimidating my child. Minnie was 115 pounds, 5'4". So I don't know if these people was intimidating her to do this or what, because this is not her MO at all. And when I talked to the detectives, they told me once she left her house, she met up with this certain person. So it's like he didn't even let up until the incident happened. Then he left her and all kinds of stuff. So I don't know. It's just crazy to me. I'm still confused on the whole situation after 9 months later. I really am. I haven't seen any type of video. I don't know if, like I said, she's a rapper. We don't know if she was going in there just to make some music and people shot at them. We don't know that, you know. So until the video come out from them, then that's when I'll be more, you know. But I think they holding it back because they know they messed up. They went through that whole news conference on saying that girl did this and that girl did that, and the video probably proving something different. So I don't know, but we'll see.
We'll see, absolutely.
We'll see.
Because, of course, it is footage. I'm not sure if you was able to see it or not, and of course they won't release it via FOIA request until we are able to, well, not us, but the state give a verdict for the people who was arrested. Now, when you found out that people was arrested, I'm not even going to say names because I don't know if you want to elaborate on that or not. What was going through your head, per se, in a broad state?
And to be honest, I was happy they went because they should never went and did that stuff, you know.
Right.
They should never, and they shouldn't have had my child involved in it. So I really believe in karma. My child, she rode around with a rosary in her car. She had a Bible in her car. She was really, really Christian. And I even said that to the news people, but they didn't even record it. That a couple of days before, she came blessing me with blessing oil and stuff like that. She had that type of stuff going on. You know, giving to the homeless. I have videos of that and stuff. So it's just really, really crazy to me that they trying to put it out there. Out of all of these boys, they have all of these different charges on her. But like I say, they always gonna blame the dead. They always, because they can't speak for themselves. So that's why I came on here with you, because I know you have a voice out there, and I need people to listen.
Hopefully somebody will come forward if they know anything. But also, now, of course, it's not really much we can elaborate on the case per se, because, like I say, this is an open case. But in terms of results, right? What would you like the results to be? And I know this is, nonetheless, this was a tragic situation, but given the cards that you was dealt, how would you like to see it play out? What information can help you get closure? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
The person that actually shot her, I want them to be first-degree murder just like they did to the other guys, for the Chase guy. Because at this point, the police is just looking at it as it was self-defense. And me talking to them, I'm asking them about, did they even question this person? Did they even find the weapon that hit her or whatever? Because if they didn't find that weapon, obviously somebody took it and ran out of there with it. So, but they're not even giving me no information on that. So when they look at her and how she, you know, you can look at her and see. They would think automatically, oh, she's a thug. You know, she's coming from New Orleans. She's trying to bring this here or whatever. They just automatically blaming her just off of how she look, basically. So I don't know. And I just really, really want some justice for her. They got the justice for Mr. Chase. Still is, but I really need some justice for her also.
No one to this day has been indicted with first degree in regards to Minnie, and I know that could be a tough thing to cope with, and I can only assume, you know, that's one of the reasons you want to continue to shine light on this situation, because despite what anybody done, with none of us perfect, and we don't know who and why and really where until they reach a verdict, and also we able to see footage. But nonetheless, When someone lose their life or lost their life, especially to gun violence, I think it's important for somebody to wear a jacket, you know.
Even if it was an accident or self-defense.
Even if it was an accident or self-defense.
Right.
You still should have knowledge of the person who pulled the trigger on your daughter.
Yeah.
Like I say, I can only imagine what you're going through.
Yeah, that was my firstborn.
Your firstborn.
I have 5 kids altogether.
Wow, that's beautiful.
So, yeah,
that's
that
beautiful.
was my firstborn. So I want to do everything I can. I need to be her voice.
Right, that's right.
Out here, you know. And like I said, she was a rapper and stuff. I never wanted her to be on TV or nothing like this.
Any closing remarks as we get towards the end?
I really don't. I hate talking about it and reliving this stuff with her. But like I said, if anybody's watching this and they know anything, they can reach out to the authorities. Right. Please don't reach out to me, because just bringing it back up and all of that stuff just won't build my anxiety up. But reaching out to the authorities is the best thing at this point, because I know somebody knows something. I mean, if you guys read the news articles, you'll see they had plenty of people in the studio that knows something. So it is what it is. Long live Mini 3.
We'll definitely do a follow-up when we get some verdict as well. And the Family TV would like to thank you once again for sharing your story and reaching out. If there's anything we can do to help you get some form of closure, please feel free to reach out. And we thank you once again.
Thank you guys for listening.
Absolutely. Now, as we wrap this video up, we do want to say rest in peace to every victim of this video and love and condolences to you guys' family. It's a very unfortunate situation. We're talking about a young woman being blamed to take out the life of an engineer with her firearm, but a firearm wasn't discovered. Also, no one has been held responsible for her life. As more developed, fam, you know I'm going to keep you guys updated. Let me know how you guys feel about this one in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And today, I'll catch you guys on the next one.